This is what I love about the Cartier Roadster. I love Cartier. If you didn't know, they made the first men's wristwatch. They have made some of the most popular watches ever. Everyone talks about the Cartier Tank and the Cartier Santos, but only the real ones know about the Cartier Pasha and the Cartier Roadster. The Cartier Roadster is oddly limited. It was released from 2001 and discontinued in 2011. As of 2025, it has not been brought back yet, but I really want Cartier to remake this watch with some modern updates. It's important to note that the Roadster is different than the Roadster S. Yes, we are talking about watches still. Much like other Cartier watches, the original is this brutal design based on a motorized vehicle, but the updated Roadster S is more of a watered down design. How could they do this to this watch? They basically neutered it. Luckily, I have here what I think is the better of the two, and this is the original Roadster. My name is Keanu Carey. I just turned 20, and I've been collecting watches for about 4 years now. I make YouTube videos on watches, so if you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. First up, we got to talk about the design. With Cartier, it's all about the design. Many car and watch enthusiasts overlap, and what I love about this watch is you can see the car inspirations. But it's something much different. It's not like a Paul Newman Daytona or any other racing chronographs from the area. It definitely has its own unique flair, and we'll definitely talk more about that. The screws at the bottom and the top of the case remind me of a Porsche headlight of sorts. It's a very cool design, and it reminds me of the Cartier Santos as well with the screwed bezel. The crown is also a nod to classic cars. It extends through the case back and through the top through a magnifier, and it extends out and sometimes can be hard to grip, but you can easily set the watch using this crown because it's very big and it has a lot of knurling on it. These car details are also present on the dial. It's meant to look like a car dashboard instrument, and it looks really nice, especially with the stepped dial. So a step dial is when the dial kind of indents a little bit and then it steps up almost like a step, and it looks really great. It adds a lot of 3D detail, and I really love the look of it on this Cartier. They also have radial lines that go around the hour track, and of course you got that little detail on the Cartier 7 that says Cartier. Overall, the dial is really pretty. It's very simple too because it has two lines of text. The top line is just Cartier, the bottom line is automatic. Everything combines to give it a really cool and symmetrical look, and I really like the look of this dial. But that's all thrown off by the date window. The date window is magnified by this really unique magnifier on the sapphire glass. And while it does break the symmetry of the watch, I think that it does a really good job of being a design aspect that is pleasing to look at. The magnifier that's on the sapphire is shaped to go into the bezel, and the bezel is shaped to go into the crown itself. The case, the dial, and the crown are all full of these fun details. If I'm missing any, please drop a comment, but overall, I think it's a really slick looking watch, and I really like it. But we got to see how it wears on the wrist, so let's take a look at the dimensions and the specifications. The dimensions give you that luxurious feeling that you would expect from a Cartier. Even though it is an automatic movement, it is under 10 millimeters thick, which is really nice. Most Cartiers were very undersized on the wrist, but this one has some presence to it. It's meant to be the sports watch of the group. Along with the car theme and the presence on the wrist, this watch has a very masculine feel, especially for Cartier standards. But don't get me wrong, if I saw a woman wearing the ladies Roadster or even the regular size Roadster, I'd be really impressed, and I'd probably want to go and talk to them. On the dial and hands, there is some lume, and the case is measured down to 100 meters of water resistance with a push-pull crown, which is pretty impressive. This watch is meant to be a little bit sportier. Despite the presence on this watch, I think it's fairly wearable on smaller wrist. I have a 5.75 inch wrist with 14.5 centimeters, and I think that it wears pretty well on me, if not a little bit oversized. Not including the crown or the extended male end links, it is 37 millimeters wide and it is 40 millimeters tall. But due to the male end links and the odd case shape, it's going to wear a little bit larger than you would expect, so just be aware of that before you try it on. I personally think that this watch would look great on a 6.5 to 7 inch wrist. Any larger than that and it's still going to look great, but it might look a little bit undersized, and if that's something you're comfortable with, then this is a really cool watch to have undersized on your wrist. The dimensions don't really tell the whole story though. We got to look at the bracelet to kind of get an idea of what the wearability is like. And the bracelet is kind of a double-edged sword, so let's look at it. It's really an odd look at first, but there are some things that kind of make it stand out. There are 3 large links and then 3 smaller links for more manageable adjustment. Despite how large the first links are, they're slightly flexible, meaning that it will be more comfortable than you think. There's also enough space between them that it's not likely to pinch your hair at all. The bracelet has this toolless quick release system that is now used by IWC and other watchmakers. It's very cool, but it doesn't allow you to use regular straps. The links themselves are a little odd and kind of dated. There's this divot in the middle of it, which doesn't look very nice to me and doesn't add a lot to the watch. In my mind, I would see like dead skin and dirt getting stuck in there, and you'd have to clean it a lot. The bracelet connects at a hidden butterfly style clasp. It's got the tight fit that you would expect from these 2000s butterfly clasp from Cartier, but it's not very, the fitment's not there. It's not my favorite clasp. It is hidden, which is nice, but there's no unique design, no Cartier label. It is what it is. Unfortunately, due to that, that means that there is no micro adjust and you're just stuck with the half links. I wasn't able to get a perfect fit, but I was able to get a watch that fit pretty well. I was only frustrated because I like to wear my watch a little bit tight, and what I found was it was either too tight or too large, but your mileage may vary, pun intended. One last thing is that sizing this thing was an absolute nightmare. It's got 2 screws and then a rod in the middle. Because of its kind of H-style link design, you have to do it twice per link, and that was super frustrating. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the movement. This watch uses a ETA 2892A2 automatic movement. It's a Swiss movement. It's got time and date, 42 hours of power reserve. That's pretty good. ETA is known to be reliable and easy to service, which is a great thing when you have an expensive watch that you might need to service every once in a while. The 42 hours of power reserve is kind of lacking compared to our 2020 standards. We're getting around to 72 hours of power reserve to make it through the whole weekend. So 42 hours is kind of lackluster, all things considered. Supposedly, the reason why Cartier went with this specific movement is because the automatic movement was thin enough to fit their case. And Cartier's been known to do that. They just pick the movement that fits their case. In my eyes, it's okay that they use this movement. It makes the watch more affordable to own, more affordable to service, and it does its job. Yes, the date has quick adjust. Who is this watch for? This watch is for people who just love Cartier. It's definitely for people who want something more unique, more cool, and maybe car enthusiasts, but definitely not car enthusiasts that are willing to work on their own cars, because this watch, it's very shiny and it's going to get scratched up if you are underneath the hood. I could imagine both younger and older guys wearing this while driving around in their Porsche. It's just a very nice watch, and I think it's very cool. Right now, they're sitting at about 4 to 6K, depending on condition, box papers, all that kind of stuff. And I can definitely see that this is affordable for most 20-year-olds if they work really hard. And this is affordable for 60-year-olds, so that just want a fun watch to drive around in, something that they don't have to worry about. Would I buy this watch? Hell yeah, I would. This watch is awesome. It might be my new favorite Cartier watch. I know that might be a stretch. Well, I actually think that the Cartier Dumont Skeleton might be my all-time favorite watch from Cartier, but this watch is definitely a close second and a more attainable watch for me personally. The Cartier Skeleton Dumont, that thing is S tier though. It's got this exceptional skeleton movement where the rotor is an airplane. That is just so cool to me. I think what holds back this Cartier Roadster is the fact that it doesn't have a great movement. It's very generic movement. The bracelet is really lacking compared to modern standards. But other than that, I really like this watch. I think it offers a unique value to people, and it's really cool if you just like take a second to look at it and understand it. That dial is just gorgeous with the radial lines and the step dial. Super interesting to look at, super bold and striking. And overall, it's still a Cartier. It's still going to be classic forever. Except for that bracelet, though. That bracelet be looking old as well. If you ever get a chance to see this watch in person, you have to try it on. It is so cool, so unique. It is so Cartier, being very industrial, but also so elegant and beautiful. That's what I love my Cartiers for. I think this watch is awesome. And if I had the money right now that I wasn't putting towards college, I'd be picking this watch up. Thanks so much for watching. Search this playlist for your next watch-related video, and I'll see you over there. Peace.